Anybody do any fishing today? I didn't get a chance. I spent all day here. And I did some yard work too. Did some yard work, redid my header and my other thing on my channel. Designed a skateboard graphic. Yeah, it was pretty much all day. Hey, Richard, what is up? How you doing today? I decided not to go fishing today. Just because usually when I go fishing on Tuesdays, I leave early, and I was doing stuff all day. Redid my check out my YouTube. Check out my YouTube. Check out my channel page. I changed my header. I switched up my header today. And now my CCB is just CCB. It doesn't have the fish behind it. But I redid my header on my channel. Didn't change my channel name, but I did change the header on my channel. And now it has skating and fishing on it. And a picture of me, real young. I decided I can put both on there. And I already had a template this time, because I kept doing the size they wanted, and it would always switch it or change it. And so I still had the original one. I just put a new picture in the middle so it lined it up perfect. So I just wanted to get you guys' reactions, see what you thought. Of my new header. I hadn't changed it in a long time, so another day, another dollar. Yeah, not for me. Oh, and I found out I put my first listing on eBay. Put in my Star Wars trilogy, but I redid my payment stuff, but they said they have to do that thing where they send you like two or three cent deposits. And so now I gotta wait 2 or 4 days, whatever, then get the deposit and type in how much they put in. You know, just to prove that it's your bank account. Not like I'd give it to somebody else's. Oh, and I got some rain totals. We actually got 2.5 inches of rain. That's not bad. It only rained for like 5 hours, and we got 2.5 inches. And Watsonville got 4.5 inches. 4.5 inches. So I'm pretty sure Pinot came up. I can't. 4.5 inches. I'm sure Pinot's kind of rose a little. Probably some of the other lakes over the hill. I don't know how many inches they got, but they probably rose too. It's funny. I see a lot of people pop me in and leaving, pop in, leaving, pop in, leaving. You know, it's probably because Fish Talk Tuesday, man. I should be sitting in my man cave with a bunch of baits on a board behind me, and I should look like I'm sitting in a tackle shop. That's the way all the Fish Talk shows go. Gotta flex and have all your baits behind you. Gotta be manly. So how many songs did you write today, Richard? Did you get all of them done for this month? Are you even on here still? Are you even listening? Hello? Hello. It says there's 2 people in here, but nobody's responding to me. I want to see what you guys thought of my new header. I spent about an hour redoing that one. A couple ideas, just threw it together. Found a cool new font. It's called what's it called? Tag Extreme 2. Yes, it looks like the tag work that you do with the big marker. I like it. Since I'm doing the skating and the fishing, I had to have something that kind of looked like tagger stuff. So I came up with that. I know. I probably know why there's not many people in here. I've actually been going at like 5 o'clock. Since I've been doing my fishing. Soon, if I do fish, I'm going to have to go earlier because we're going to be turning the clocks back. I'm sorry about yesterday, and I was a little out of it. That pot somebody gave me. That's kind of why I was spacey all. That's why I was spacey all last night during my life, because man, I didn't have much of it, but that stuff's pretty damn potent, I would say. It was pretty potent. I only had a couple little hits, and man, that stuff just like that stuff really got to me. Not much of a smoker anyway, but so I think I'm gonna have to go to Pino next week. I'm gonna have to check out that. I have to go to the other lakes. To the drain lake. If it rained that much, if it's 4 hours, 4.5 inches at Pino, further north. Well, they got 9 inches of rain in the San Francisco area. They got 4.5 inches during that football game that was on. 3.5 hours, 4.5 inches of rain. That's freaking dumping. Almost an inch an hour. That's just crazy amounts of rain. Still got bugs around. We have no crickets this time. We've been having a lot of crickets around, which we don't usually have. Well, is it you still on here, Richard? I mean, I'd like a little feedback. Like, I'm doing live to interact with people, not to get my watch hours. I've gained more people though. I'm up to 5.4 now, 35.4. Getting closer to 3,600 subscribers. I don't know where they're coming from, but I'm getting some. Anyway, I've cut off fishing shows for the most part. And yeah, now I switched up my header. Wow, is anybody, I mean, that's true. I guess I'm not very entertaining live anymore. I'm the old man talking to a phone with no interaction. I guess I could go, what could I go to? I could go get my, go get my games, just play games on here. I'm hoping some of the regulars come on eventually. Maybe I'll have to start doing my live skateboarding again. Those were kind of fun at the skate park. Maybe we get live games of skate going. That would be fun. I was going to go in and show my a sneak peek of my old 95 fishing show that I'm eventually going to put on. But probably not if I don't get anybody in here. Nobody wanders in. Nobody wants to ask questions or talk. I haven't seen Backroads in a while. I think he was in last week. I don't know, I hear he's not doing much fishing anymore either, so. A lot of my crew's not been fishing much. I know Tito hasn't been fishing. Well, yeah, he hasn't. I don't think Corn's been fishing. I don't know what happened to Jess Fish. I know it's wine season, so he's probably I know he's this time of year. It's wine season. It's done wine season. Everybody gets there. Have to do all their grape stomping and grape producing, and that's why he always disappears about this time. Dog walker. Yeah, evidently we have no rain on the forecast for the next 10 days. I mean, luckily we did get 2.5 inches out of that. But, yeah, not good. It's going to be one of those years where the rain often comes into California and it either goes north or south. North or south. And a lot of times, the Central Coast just gets missed. Some way that it ends up happening. And we get nothing. We get a lot of rain north, a lot of rain south, and we end up having a drought. good that it went north though, because that's where all our water comes from. All our stored water comes from the north. I don't know how much snow they got. We've got 9 inches of snow around San Francisco, Tahoe, and that's behind it. So if it hit that. Oh, and we had some mudslides on the one. Not mud, like mud and rock. I guess going north. I drive by. It's on the way to Clear Lake on the 101. Whole bunch of big rock and everything came down the hill. Covered the whole road. And they said the rock was too heavy for their equipment to even pick it up. the piece of rock that slid down was like a flat piece. They said it was, on its own, it was actually too heavy to even pick it up with their equipment. So, don't know how that's going to happen. How long it's going to take them to get that cleaned up. The American River was flowing pretty heavy. It was like, it was roaring rapids already. When the rain had just started. Got any? Oh, we do. We are kind of set up for Halloween. We are kind of set up. We have a pumpkin, a skeleton dog, and a skeleton sitting in a chair. Well, you can't really see it there. Up above me, there is a spider. And we see this in the corner here. That's what that looks like. And over there in the corner, got some lights and stuff up. Where is? Oh, I can't even get the spider above me. Oh well. The effort was there. Effort was there, I just couldn't reach it. Hanging right there. I didn't even notice it until the other day. I looked up and it kind of startled me. I was like, whoa. Oh, shit. I didn't realize there was a spider hanging above my head. Man, I stopped fishing and, like, people hate me. Everybody's like, fuck that guy. He only gave us 1,600 bass fishing videos. He's only been on here 15 years. Fuck that guy. He doesn't care about us bass fishermen. That's no time at all to spend on YouTube. 15 years. I should go inside and do stuff. Just leave a sign hanging that says be right back. Oh, you go, man. So why are you two people even on here? I don't get it. I mean, why are people sitting here staring at me? I don't get it. If you're not going to react or talk to me, I mean, I guess I'll just sit here and talk to myself for a while. Oh, I should go get my puppet, and I could, like, just have a conversation with myself. See how that goes. Oh, good. I got one person to leave. Well, if he doesn't fucking care, I'm giving you watch time. Fuck it, I don't need fucking watch time. It's called live for a reason, so you can interact. I don't get it. Oh, I found out too, I always call these uncut. Well, now Lunkers and Flair are doing something, and they're calling it uncut. Yeah, they stole mine. They're doing, I don't know, some new thing they have going on. Ooh, somebody else came in. Yeah, something new they're doing. I think it's a website. But it's called Uncut. I'm like, dude, I've had Uncut for years. So who came in? You guys are all mystery people. Somebody came in like me because they gave me a like. But there's no, they didn't tell me who they are. So far, the only comment I have is from Richard. And I was really hoping you guys would get some people come in because I wanted to show you my new header. Get some response from you guys for my new header. Now I got 3. I get 3 and there's only 2 people in here. Oh, finally, somebody says hello. This live stuff's getting tougher and tougher, Noah. I come on and just talk to myself for like 22 minutes. No, I redid my header on my YouTube channel. And now my insignia just CCB with no bass behind it. But I want to get some, I want somebody to look at it. I spent an hour or so redesigning it. Dead night, Jesus. Yeah, pretty much. Last night was pretty dead too. Yeah, I know. Well, I've been going live at like 5 on Tuesdays, so. And what, I went last week, the week before that I didn't even go. It's just getting tough. Everybody wants me to do the human fishing again, but I'm like, knowing me, I'll spend the time, go down there and do it, and like nobody will come in. They'll just be like, damn it. You guys asked me to do this and you're not even coming in. It's the post-COVID freedom, I guess. Everybody's back to work now. They're moving around like they used to, and they're getting used to it. So, they're out and about. I don't know, nobody's coming. I mean, you showed up. I'm not in the video, though. Unfortunately. I filmed it all. I filmed my girlfriend at the time and a bunch of her friends. And you hear me talking. But nobody filmed me snowboarding. I mean, in the snow with the camera, it's a little bit hard. Like, I didn't end up getting any footage of me. Good footage of them though. It's in a half pipe. One of the first. It's old school though. This is like Boreal '89. I think Boreal and Squaw. Maybe Heavenly. I don't know. But there's out of the like 14 was like 14, 15 ski resorts. Oh no, she was good. She was a skateboarder too. She rode vert. She was a pretty good snowboarder though. Yeah, at this time there were only like what was it, like 14, 15 ski resorts in Tahoe. I think Boyle and Squaw were the only two that allowed snowboards at the time. Maybe Sugar Bowl. I don't know. There's only two or three out of all the ones that were up there. Didn't allow snowboards on their lifts, on their mountain. So yeah, it was. I think it was '89. Yeah, yeah. I think it was winter '89 or winter '88. Trying to remember when I dated her. It was part of that. It was that's where I lived. Remember that one? If you saw that one, Noah, My Dark Days. I love snowboarding. Yeah, I snowboarded for a while, for like 3 or 4 years. I got good at it because I mean, it's just like skateboarding. I learned 540s in the half pipe. I did like big backside airs and lean airs, all that skate stuff out of the pipes. And I go down the hills and the runs, switch stance. I go down goofy or regular. People, when I went to where'd I go? Oh, when I went with the ski club to Crested Butte in Colorado. Everybody's like, "How come every time I see you going down the hill, you're going backwards?" I'm like, "I don't know. It's just kind of fun being able to go both ways. I can go forward and I can go backward, and I can do airs and switch it up." Pissed off my girlfriend though. She's been snowboarding longer than me. I learned to snowboard. She was trying like crazy, and the one thing she wanted to do was learn how to go down the hill switch stance. And so I was talking to her. I was talking to her at the half pipe and all that because, like, I don't know, I was snowboarding somewhere else, but yeah. And I got up. I hadn't told her I learned to go down, that I could go either way now. And I was talking to her, and all of a sudden I stood up and said, "All right." Uh, I went down to go back up the hill to make another run, and I hopped up and I just went away goofy foot. 'Cause she was goofy foot, I was regular, and I got up and I rode down the hill goofy. And then I got in the lift, went back up because she was staying at the half pipe. And so I made my run. I went back over to half pipe to board with her again, and she looked at me and goes, "When you left, did you go down the hill switch stance?" Oh yeah, I learned that. I spent all day doing that the other day. And she goes, "I hate you." And I was like, "Sorry." I'm a pretty good skateboarder, so I know how to go down switch stance. Yeah, that was her response to me. "I hate you." I'm like, what? It's fun. Yeah. But when I started, I had a ski board. It was a Kemper. It was 165, I think. Didn't have much of a tail. But I bought it from a guy that she knew that was riding for Kemper. But he was a slalom guy. So it was pretty long board. I mean, it had a good nose, but it didn't. And then later on, I bought a shorter one that had like the front and the back. More like one that you could use in a half pipe and everything. But yeah. And then when I left San Francisco, to move my store to, or left slow to move my store to San Francisco. I sold off both my old snowboards. I knew I was going to be in San Francisco for a couple of years, and I knew I wouldn't have time to go snowboarding, and I need the money, so yeah. I sold them off people before I left. Oh yeah, speed, and now they do all our skateboarding. It's funny because skiing has been around for how long? Freaking like 100 years. Snowboarding changed the way skiers ski now. They do all those things. They do half pipes. They do airs. They do rail slides. They didn't think of any of that stuff until us snowboarders that were all skaters got out on the hill on a snowboard. We started doing rails. We started creating half pipes, different jumps with rail, all that. Now the skiers are doing them all. And it's like, I mean, you guys didn't think of any of that for like over 100 years. It's just going down hills. We came in with all the creative shit. We yeah, we came in and changed the landscape of skiing in like 2 years. I mean, we've been on the hill with snowboards for 2 years compared to how many years it had been around, like 1% of the time. And within like 2 years, 3 years, changed everything. Changed the shape of skis, changed what they thought they could do on a hill, changed the whole landscape of the hill by them making a lot more jumps and hills and snake runs and all of that stuff. Like, if they wouldn't allow snowboarding, or snowboarding wouldn't have been invented, they'd still be just, what, whoop-de-doos, or what do they call them? Moguls. Moguls would be their fun still. Yeah, but I said we snowboarding took it to a whole freaking. We rose the bar by like 1,000%. I mean, I said moguls. You had the regular hill, and then you had moguls. Now they got snake runs and half pipes and rails and jump to jumps and multiple jump. It's just like, and now the skiers are doing like freaking way more nuts type of tricks than they did before snowboarding invaded. No like triple or four-time flips or flips with spins. I mean, some of the bigger ones, when they had the big high jump, they did that kind of stuff, but they were the elite. Now, like, any 2-year-old skiers doing like backflips and twists and everything that these people did that were forever the big guys. Did you see the header yet? I'm really like excited to get somebody to see it. I don't know if anybody likes it. The header for my channel. Had fun designing it. I designed a skateboard today too. There's an image of that on my Instagram page. I kind of played with the old school Alva logo. Oh yeah. I said it only took us a year or 2 years to change the whole mind of the snowboarding industry. They spent years not allowing snowboards on like 90% of the ski resorts. A few of the forefronters said, yeah, we want them. We want them. Everybody else said, hell no. They're just a bunch of renegade skateboarders that are going to create hell on our freaking hill. They don't respect the art of skiing, the high elitist skiing. They're just renegades. Just like they are in the streets. And they're right. And we fucked them up. And hell, it became an Olympic sport way before skateboarding. When did snowboarding become an Olympic sport? Wasn't that like 5, 6, 7 years ago? 8 years ago? It was a while ago. It came out after skateboarding, but it got to the Olympics before skateboarding. They were still reluctant. Finally let us in 2021. After research, I don't know, what year did they do snowboarding? It's been, it's only every 4 years. And I know there's been at least like, I don't know, was it mid-2000s that they let snowboarding in? Was it 10, 12 years ago? Something like that. I know Shaun White's been a name for at least a decade. Yeah, they didn't know what they were doing. I'm not sure about freestyle. Yeah, it's same teeth. They just moved a bit. See, originally, see how this gap here? Oh, this one, my teeth shifted. Yeah, these were lined up, and they were supposed to like fill them in on each side, and I had a retainer to keep them there, and then I lost a retainer, and then my teeth shifted. So these are lined up because I have really small side teeth. Hey, NJ. So yeah, they kind of lined them up so they could like put plaster of Paris on them or whatever and make them look like normal teeth. But I didn't care, so I never did it. And then my wisdom teeth came in, and that pushed everything forward, and that's how my bottom teeth are all screwed up because it like shoved everything forward. Yeah, that's alright. Yeah, that's when I still had my retainer, so everything stayed in place, and before my wisdom teeth came all the way in. They said they said I had room for my wisdom teeth. So unless there was an issue, they were probably going to leave them. But when they came in, see, they pushed everything forward. They pushed everything forward, and that's why these two teeth are kind of shoved out. But in that picture was what? How old was I when? I think I was 21 then. In that center photo. It was either, no, I was, yeah, I was 21 or 22. Okay, NJ. That doesn't matter. Hardly anybody's wandered in here yet anyway. It's me and Noah. Oh, and could you check out my, if you go to my new Instagram, CCB Old School Skateboarding. Yeah, I've seen everybody got their wisdom teeth out, and I'm like, I don't care if it fucks up my dentistry I had. I don't want to go have those things pulled. They come in and fine, and they did. I'm like, I'm good. Yeah, but on my Instagram, I put up the new skateboard I designed. I might have some made, just for my old school friends, because I love to collect skateboards and like rare skateboards, and they all know me. So, and blank, you can buy blank skateboards like crazy now. Even the old school designs like that one is. So, hey, somebody else came in and likes me. He's like, I got another like. I don't know if you're enough of a skater to know where I took the base of the design from. Yeah, but the AWA part of it, other than the K, that's actually the Alva logo. It usually has a capital A in front of that what looks like a W and then the little A. And we all always called it AWA because that in the middle is supposed to be LV, but it looks like a W. And then the small A, and he had a big A in front of it. So I took the little A and put it before it, and then put that big K with the underline. So it's stealing one of the most iconic skateboarding, iconic and oldest skateboarding logo, the Alva. Yeah, we always called it Awa. Oh, look, he has an Awa board. And kids go, it's Alva. I'm like, yeah, it looks like AWA though. And even my friend Dale were talking one day. And I said, yeah, I was always thinking about if I got a board, I'd put a K in front of it and make it Kawa. And so I did that today. And he used to have that, how I did that color, like orange, yellow to orange, and that. I think some of his boards he had them that way, that color scheme. Oh yeah, he was before. Yeah, he was a legend before Tony. So I just thought that'd be fun. And then I have the digger designs behind it. I don't know. I have a friend, my friend Hype. You've seen my shows. One looks like the younger Fresh Prince. He shows up sometimes in my lives and that. He was in my skateboarding ones. He did the intros when I did the skate and fish videos. But he silk screens and makes stuff. So I asked him if he can silk screen on skateboards. So he used to silk screen them. Now it's like a heat transfer. But yeah, I might buy some blanks, and if he can do it, silk screen that logo on them. That might be fun. Then finally, after all these years, I can have my own pro model. I never got a chance to do it. Oh, it's a 6 now. Oh yeah, or there's actually a place online now where you can buy the boards and they screen them for you. I'd really like to have my friend Hype do it though. But yeah, I guess it's all array. I didn't know. I just typed in skateboard blanks images, and then I got all the stuff and all for sale, like old school shapes and everything shaped like on eBay and Amazon and everything else, like for sale, for sale, for sale. I'm like, oh, cool. I figured it was pretty easy these days. I mean, no, actually, some of those blanks aren't that much. I mean, a piece, um, I don't know about the old school shapes, but no, like 15, $20. I mean, for something blank with no graphics on it, and that they're they're pretty cheap. I was amazed. I was like, wow. But nowadays, the kids, they don't want blank boards. They want to buy their pro skater and there's someone that's, anyway, the shapes nowadays are all pretty much the same. I mean, there's not much difference. Maybe a quarter inch more on the tail or a quarter inch less on the nose, or they're either 8 inches or 8 1/4 or 8 1/2. But the concaves are all pretty much the same. I mean, there's not much difference in them now. They're all like a little bit bigger freestyle boards. But I thought that would be cool. I put that one on an old school shape, but it's got a good nose on it. It looks like it's bevel. It's got a lot of concave. It's got a good nose. So if I do create them, I might create it. I'll probably create them on that, and I'll put just the kawa on the top, in the middle. I don't know. I emailed Hype. He's really bad emails, but I sent him the design. I asked him if he can silk screen. No, there were blanks on there for like 10, $20. You could buy like 10 blanks. Some had blanks like 100 something bucks for like 10 blanks. Yeah, no, once you get them on eBay and Amazon, price goes way down, man. I mean, I know how much skateboards sell for now. Doesn't it like a pro blank? Aren't they like 60, $70 now? $80? But yeah, no, the blank ones. I mean, they're just. I was impressed when I saw the prices, and I'm like, what? Really? But a board's all in the graphics, man. Even back in the day. Graphics was everything. I mean, yeah, but graphics, I mean, you come out with like 4 different models, board models in a year, or 5, and the board's exactly the same. It's just different graphics. No, no change in the shape, no change in nothing. It's just a different graphic. Everybody wants the graphics. They like the board already, but it's got no. Because your friends made fun of you going, dude, that graphics is like 2 graphics ago. I got the new one. But you put the boards together and they're the same exact shape. I mean, originally, Jack's Mags. 120 for the complete, yeah. Well, trucks are like 20 bucks a piece now. Wheels are like $10, $12 a piece now. Yeah, it's all 7-ply maple. And they're all put in the kind of the same mold. Most of them what now are like, what the length too, some are 32, some are 31. I think 31, 32, something like that now, 30. That's kind of where they're all kind of at. 14 is like 14-inch wheelbase, 14 and a half inch wheelbase. The only thing that sets them, that makes them different nowadays is the graphics. Or if you actually set them side by side. Yeah, I don't even remember it. Well, I mean, I skated for Santa Cruz, so I got my wheels for free. I had trucks, but I'm a vert skater. They lasted me forever. I skated for On the Beach, so some of the boards either I got for free or I got at a discount. So I never really had the bearings. Remember when I was skating for him, Mike's like, "What do you need, man?" I'm like, "Well, you know you need trucks, you need bearings." I'm like, "No, my trucks are fine. Bearings, sure. All right, here's a set of bearings. Grip tape, new board. Yeah, new board." I was like, "All right, I'll give it to you for half off." I'm like, "Cool." Well, I told you that AirTech that I have that I'm gonna list for like $12.50. He just gave me that thing. He's like, "You want this piece of shit? They're not making them anymore. They're not selling. Everybody breaks a tail. We have this one laying here. You want it?" I'm like, "Sure." I'll take that, Roscoe. Yeah, I mean, when I skated, I got, like I said, I skated ramp. I changed my wheels, like, I don't know. On my street board, I did a lot of sliding, so I changed those quite a bit. But I used my old wheels from the ramp. But I get a set of wheels a month. I skated for them for 4 years. Sometimes I get 2 sets of wheels in a month. And I'm only changing my wheels once every 3 months. I used to give them away to kids. I'd always like, if a kid would let me ride his ramp and I'd tell him to learn the trick, I'd give him a board. At the demos, I'd like give away a set of wheels to people. Yeah, I had like, I don't know, at one point I probably had like 15, 20 sets of brand new wheels. Because I didn't wear them down much on the vert. Kill it when it comes to plank of wood. Yeah. Yeah, it's all in the graphics, man. If I said, if I can get one of those, that old school blank, that one that I put that that image I have that I put the design on it, that was an old school blank that was for sale. I don't remember how much it was. I think the old school ones are a little bit more. I didn't really look around much because I was looking for the graphic so I could put that design on top of it to see how it looked on a board. So I actually didn't research all of and the price of boards that were available. But I'm pretty sure, I mean, most of my friends, if they buy it from me, all my skate collector friends and that, are just going to have it for their collection to hang on the wall. Like, he was so good. We skated with him. He deserved his own board. And now he has one. So, you know, I'm not expecting to make a fortune off him, but it'd be fun to produce them. I might even put one together and ride it. But seriously now, someone riding a newer style board since the 90s. I'd probably put my graphic on a newer style board. The freestyle type. Well, I don't have any trucks. Trucks I have were given to me. But all my friends, like, dude, you need new trucks. I have trucks. I mean, all my old school friends and that have trucks and wheels and bearings. And they're like, dude, I need to hook you up. I'm like, yeah, I know, but I can ride this thing. I mean, they're like, yeah, but you know, you're really good. You can ride anything. I'm like, I know. You're in 55 now. I can still cruise around on it just fine. It's all muscle memory at this point. And the reason I don't do a lot of my tricks and that is it's mental. The fear of falling at my age on cement. It's hard and it hurts. Hell, I was killing myself today. Like, wore me out raking the yard. I mean, at first I was like, then once it got going, thunders. Now, I always rode tracker until my board got stolen with trackers. I remember I had two. I had the blue ones and I had regular. I think the six tracks, my original six tracks, I think were given to me by a pro in Pomona when they first came out. Just like those gyro wheels I showed, those were given to me. Plus another set of gyros were given to me. Yeah. I got hooked up when I was little. And I don't know, I'm going to do a documentary on my history of skateboarding. But right before I quit, well, I quit for like a year because my skate park closed. I was getting ready to be sponsored by GNS and Going. I was really good friends with the team manager for Going and GNS. He was always at the contests. He always like made sure I ate enough and made sure I was drinking enough water. And one day at my contest, I promoted during a contest, somebody stuck a Going sticker on my helmet. And that was hearsay. People were saying, dude, GNS and Going is like looking to sponsor you. I'm like, really? Because I don't know, I wasn't that into it back then. But I had my skate park, I rode for him, I got to skate for free. And I go, really? Yeah. And then I got home and there was somebody had snuck a Going sticker on my helmet. And I rode trackers, and I had tracker stickers all over my helmet, so I was kind of like, ha ha ha. Funny guys. Very, very funny. But tracker was a big team, I guess. I mean, Chris Miller, who I loved, I mean, a lot of pros that rode for Goldwing at the time. This was early 80s, but later 80s. And I forgot what I was going to say. What was I going to say after that? Yeah, but anyway. It was like, most of it's going to go into my documentary. I know. I don't know. I always thought about it when I was little, but I didn't. To me, the thing was I got sponsored to skate for Pomona Skate Park. And my sister ended up working there for like 2 years, something like that. So for me, it was just the fact that I could go to a skate park and didn't have to pay. It was just free. I mean, Upland was only 20 minutes away, and I used to go there and pay to skate. And then Pomona opened. I started skating there. Then my sister started working there, and it was free. So I just stayed at Pomona and skated all the time. I went over to Pipeline, and I had to pay. And I was a little kid. I didn't have a job. Or I did have a job. I had to paper out for a while. But still, do you want to go pay to skate, or do you want to go skate for free? One's like 15 minutes from your house riding your bike. One's 20 minutes away, and you have to have your parents or your sister drive you there. So when it closed, I was like, oh well. I gave it a good go. And I started bass fishing more, and then I got a boat and bass fished a lot. And then I got back into skateboarding right before I left, and I moved up here, and there was no bass fishing. As a surf town, the skaters. Oh yeah, well back in that day, everything was paid. I forget it. What I forget how much. I think it was $1.50 an hour. $1.50 an hour, and I think it was like, I don't know, $5 or $6 for all day. I mean, this is 79, 80, 81, 82. I mean, nowadays you're like $5, no problem. But back then, $5 was a lot more money. Yeah, I think it was $1.50 an hour, or like $6, $7 for all day. Because a lot of kids, parents took them there. Parents didn't want to drop them off and leave. They would stay, so they'd pay for like an hour or two, and then parents would hang out with them, watch them skate, and say, "Okay, come on, Johnny, we're going home now." I always paid for all day. Yeah, I paid for it. I said I still had, that guy, I know that guy stole it from me. In my box, I had the little card for a free hour pass at Upland Pipeline, and it was initialed. I know that guy. I was showing it to him at Elistero, and he wanted everything. He kept asking me for stickers. He kept asking me for one of the magazines, all this other stuff, and I left him alone by the box. And I emptied it out now, and the stickers and everything in there, but that hour free pass thing, I can't find it. I don't know if it slipped into one, because I tried to hide it on the side, But I can't find it unless it's, I don't know, somewhere inside. If it got into one of the magazines. Yeah, it was yellow. It had the pipeline. It said free hour session. And I showed to everybody, and everybody was passing around looking at it. And I stuck it in there, and then I walked away, but he was standing right by it and kept looking inside it. And I think he freaking stole it. I gave him a dog down sticker. It's a cool sticker, but it was a no name on it, so I'm like, here. He was pestering me to try and, he wanted my Thrasher button. He wanted magazines. He even wanted my gold card, like my Aspo gold card. That one I put in the picture that's laminated. He like wanted that, and I'm like, dude, I'm doing the history of my skating. I need these. I know. Instead of leaving him near it, after I talked to him, and I should have just folded up, knowing everything's in there, and put it back in my trunk. But I don't know. I can't say for sure. I remember I slid it because I had the box, all the magazines are in it, and there's kind of a little space. I remember I dropped it down there, just so it wasn't laying on top. But I can't find it. If I ever see him again, I'll ask him. I'll be like, dude, did you actually steal my free hour at Pipeline card I had? Initialed? I don't even know who initialed. I don't know if it was Don Hoffman or his dad or his mom, but it was initialed. And it's gone. It's not in the box. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know why he wanted it. I don't even think he skates. I think he just knows the history of skating, so he like wanted to sell it or something, or knew its value. Because you didn't have those. Um, yeah, who keeps those? Because you get a free hour of skating, so you always turn them in. And they collect them, and then they just throw them away. Or shred them. I didn't even know I had it. I just found it in one of the boxes. I'm like, oh my god. How come I didn't use this? How come I didn't get my free hour of skateboarding at the pipeline? Probably because I get skate for free at Pomona. But Pomona sucked, actually. Nobody wanted to ride it. Cement was rough. There were kinks. You see the L pull? It goes up and then it doesn't transition to vert. It kind of has this like little kink to vert. I don't know if they did it intentionally because that's the way some swimming pools were made back then. I don't know if the L pool might have been that way originally. I never skated it. But yeah, there were kinks. A lot of cement on the bottoms. That was kind of rough. Nobody liked nobody liked Pomona Pine Pool. It was tough. Yeah, no, I remember I have Rusty Harris, photographer, a pretty known skateboarding photographer in the early '80s, late '70s. He died at Pomona. I have a story to tell about that one. But he died of a heart attack at Pomona. They had a Rusty Harris series in honor of him later that year. And they didn't even have a contest at Pomona. Like this, they had it at Upland and Del Mar and Lakewood and all these other parks, and they didn't even have one at the skate park he died at. Because nobody liked our park. And I thought, thinking back at it, well, that's kind of fucked. You're doing it in honor of his death, and you don't even have a contest at the park that he was working at when he had his heart attack and died. You had him at all the other parks. I don't know, I think it was like 6 or 7 contest series or something. But you don't even brag it back to the park that he spent the whole day filming and doing photography of skateboarding. And you didn't even honor him with, and it was in our half pipe, which is where the pro-am contest was that he died at. And you don't even have a contest there. That should have kicked off the series. The first contest should have been in our half pipe that he was filming when he died. No. Every other park, sure, but not ours. Kind of fucked. I'll get in. I mean, what I'm telling you now, that's going to be in my documentary. plus a lot of other stuff. Yeah, he was a cool guy. And well, I'll tell you, it's only me and Noah right now. I'll tell you, Noah. It's between me and you, man. He was the same age, or almost the same age as my dad, when he had a sudden heart attack and died. And I worried about my dad having one for like 6 months, a year after that. I would have dreams about it, nightmares about it. Yeah, it like kind of fucked me up for a little bit. It seriously did. Yeah, it was scary. Well, once I get to the documentary, you'll see everything about it. But yeah, whole yeah. For me as a kid, I think I was, how old was I? I was like 15 at the time. 82. Yeah, I think 15. Yeah, I think it was 15. 14 or 15, but yeah. Rocked my world. I do the research of that too. A lot of stuff that I'm getting ready to do. I've been on the computer because I'm gonna be doing a yeah. And he was just taking pictures. He'd already had one heart attack though. He had a history of it in his family and everything. He had one before that, but this is the one that killed him. The second one. But yeah, so I've been doing a lot of downloading. A lot of downloading of, I don't know, historical stuff so I can mix it in during the documentaries and stuff. It's kind of fun, but it takes forever to download images off of YouTube. But yeah, every time I find something that I think is pertinent, I'm in there downloading it. I go in and get a bunch of images. It's all the background stuff you have to do for a really good sort of documentary style thing. And I always loved making little mini sort of documentaries, so I think that's kind of why I switched. Yeah. I'm getting ready to do the one, a love letter to Jeff Grosso, R.I.P. Because he passed away like a year ago or something. Yeah, I already downloaded a bunch of footage. I don't actually have pictures of him personally, but I have a lot of stories because he rode for our skate park. I was the one that got him on our skate park team. And he did Love Letters to Skateboarding, sponsored by Vans. It's big on YouTube. He did it for like 6-7 years. Yeah, and I redid the intro. I spent like hours making stills. It's a graphic where, I don't know, an arm comes in and it says love letters across. The arm comes in and pulls a note or a piece of paper out of an envelope that says skateboarding. So I had to take all those images, frame by frame, stills, put love letter to Jeff Gross, or love letter to Jeff Gross, or love letter 2 up above. Then I had to take skateboarding out of the arm that came out and put Jeff Grosso, and then I had to it was a lot of work. I mean, animation you can get away with less frames, but it's 30 frames a second, so I had to do framed and framed and framed and framed. Then I had to get into Photoshop. Then I had to take the original image out. Then I had to put in my image in. And then I got it done. It worked out good, and it's like 10 seconds of video. So I mentioned it on here before, but yeah, it was a lot of effort to recreate that little 10 seconds of the intro to his videos. And I got done. I don't know how. Luckily, I know Photoshop really well. And I've actually done some still frame animation before. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And he was a really good guy. I mean, he was like 12. I was like 13 when I knew him, 14. I was better skating than him. But oh yeah, making it out of stills and having to replace everything in the still. Yeah, because I don't have, I mean, I don't have that sort of graphic software to just recreate it and have it animated and do it all. I had to do it all old school. Frame by frame. I think it took me about 6-8 hours to actually put together 10 seconds of video. And the thumbnail it's a deep fake too. It's a still from him because he'd have people sit next to him, talk to him. It's a shot of him, and I took the guy out next to him, took a picture of me, sized it and everything, and put me in the photo next to him. I put that one up on the Skate Collective. Everybody liked it. I don't know if, because they know me, they know I knew Jeff. I don't know if they know that I wasn't actually originally in that photo, or if they just assumed that it was that I actually met with him and talked with him. It was just still from that part of the video, but it's actually a complete remake. It's a little hard. I had to sit, I had to film myself sitting in a chair. I didn't use photos. I actually used my high 8. Actually, no, I used my Canon because it films in MPEG 2, so it had a little grain in that to it. But yeah, I had to sit in a chair and try to frame myself with the camera on me, like the camera would have been on them, and then do a bunch of stuff and everything, and then I had to go in and use that and go frame by frame to find a good still that matched, so it looked like I was sitting next to him and in the right position, and then frame myself, size myself so I was same it out. I did it though. It took me about 4 hours, I think, to make this still. But I'm old school and I only know how to do it in Photoshop the old way. I'm sure somebody newer could do it a lot quicker. Yeah. I want to make, like, the reality is, I showed it to my mom. And I brought my mom in and said, hey, this is what I've been doing all day. And it was just, it was just a done photo. And she looked at it and goes, yeah. I'm all, isn't that amazing? She goes, what? It's a photo of you with Jeff. I'm all, yeah, but I'm not there. She's like, what? I'm like, I put myself in that photo. It's like, oh, I thought it was a real photo. I'm like, no, I'm not there. I'm superimposed. I had to set that all up. It's hard to, to get the lighting right and everything else, to play with it. I actually had to use lighting effects to make myself look more, I was in the light with him. And then originally I had more grain than him. So I had to flatten the image and put grain over all of it. And that kind of really, because, yeah, I couldn't make myself look non-grainy. But then I came out here and I had my cigarette and I thought about it and I went, ooh, I can't make me look clearer, but I can make him look more grainy. So yeah, so I flattened the image and I put grain all over it. It had a little bit more to me, but it really sort of matched in. It made it look a lot realer, that we were both sort of in this, like it was a grainy photo. Like a still from an old VHS still image. I don't know, it's just a lot of stuff that people don't know about nowadays, because nowadays in fishing and all that, it's all about, making everything look perfect. Using, the best cameras, the clearest cameras, the 4K cameras, and all that stuff. When back in the day, it's like, we did what we did. We only had VHS, and eventually we had like kind of high 8, but it was still tape. A lot of them didn't even do 16:9. It was 4:3. And cameras, all my cameras, I have pictures of me from the 80s. It was on an Instamat. It was like on a 110. It was one of those flat cameras. The 110. 35 was around then. That's what all the, magazines and everything used. Yeah, that's why I'm gonna start doing the new old school skateboarding. I'm filming on my height. That's kind of where I'm going after I get through with all the actual old school footage. Is I'm gonna start filming skateboarding on my high eight with my attached wide angle lens. I'm gonna film new skateboarding with the technology that we had back then. That's kind of my new scope of it. Is new old school skateboarding, taking the technology before GoPros and Canons, high end Canons capturing video and all that. I'm taking it back to how it was captured in the old days on tape. And majority of the time, 4x3 square, not 60x9, because TVs didn't move to 60x9 until early 2000s or something. So I've already filmed 2 times now at the skate park with my high eight. I'm gonna go film. I just blew up both of your Instagrams. Good. Um, yeah, I have 2 filmed. I have some good skating, but I'm gonna go one more time and film. A lot of footage is me on the skateboard riding next to him and everything, getting the cool footage. I can do that, no problem. I'm really good at riding on the board and just following him and doing the angles with the camera and all that. But I get there, it's cool because everybody's like, I'm so jealous of that camera. I'm like, what? I mean, they have iPhones and they have iPhone 8s and they have GoPros and that, and they're like, I'm so jealous of that camera. He goes, and they're like, and you got a wide angle lens? I'm like, yep. It's not a fisheye. I had a fisheye on my VHS. This is just a wide angle, but yep, I still got this. And I have like 20 tapes, 20 high 8 tapes. And I already friend too that said that. I told him what I was going to do. And he goes, that's what's missing. Sure, they have filters and everything so you can make it look like VHS and that, but yeah, it's a what do you see in mind? The fisheye where you can see the parts of the lens. I thought it was just me, but all the ones I watched, the old school ones, that's the way they were. There's like a little, you see a little corner here and a little corner here of the lens of the frame, because they weren't good enough to do all of it because the original lens was too far back. It didn't go out past it enough that it was total fisheye. You could still see those little edges. What I have now, since it's a wide angle, it's actually clean. It doesn't have any edges, but it's not. It's a 24 millimeter. It's not a fisheye. It's I have to. I'm learning it now. That's what I'm doing. Is I have to stand, and when I follow them, I have to be further back. Than especially when you have a GoPro because it's 180, so you can be right up on them. You know you're getting the whole frame. So that's what I'm kind of learning now when I'm filming with this. I have to be a couple feet further back to get them all in frame. So it's a learning process with it. And the battery of it, the battery's 22 years old. The first time I charged it, last long. I think it lasted like 15 minutes. It's supposed to be like an hour and a half battery. This time I think I filmed 27 minutes and the battery was still good. It was kind of blinking, but I drained it, so this time I recharge it, so it might last longer. But if not, I can hook up a thing so I can plug it in to an external battery like we all have now. Just plug it in AC. I have an AC inverter, so I can plug it into that and then do it that way to a bigger battery so it could last forever. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Once I get the other one more filmed, I haven't had really good people yet. If I get my friend Hype or some other really good people, do some footage of them, then I'll put together sort of the first intro of the new old school skateboarding. And during it, like my first one where I had the bikini girls and all that, because it was first or so. During it, I'm going to be skating, and suddenly it's going to cut to a 1970s or something clip of, I don't know, some old school, cheesy, old skateboarding, and then go right back into it. Like, I don't know. I have plans for it. And truthfully, no offense to Noah, because I know you're the other one on here, but it's so much more fun to film and edit than fishing. I mean, it just is. I mean, there's only so much you can do. I don't know, angles and all that stuff with a fish jumping or a cast. Skateboarding is so multi-dimensional with tricks and angles, and it's like there's like 10, 20, 30 times more things you can do. As far as capturing a trick. Yeah. And that's what I was all about. Even my old videos, you can tell. If it's me being filmed, I directed where they filmed from. I'm like, I want the camera here. I want this angle here. If I was filming, I knew where I wanted, but when they took it and I had them film me, I was kind of like an asshole or whatever. I said, stand here, stand there, be here, film some from this angle, film from this angle. It's like I was the director of all where everything was captured from. And luckily I had some people there that were good at it. They they had seen skateboard videos, and once I directed them, they knew what I was talking about and where to film from. Sometimes they even had them, like on my ramp, sometimes I had them standing on the fence that was next to it so they get a better angle. So they're up there kind of straddling and balanced on our neighbor's 8-foot wood fence. Yeah. And yeah, I would have them up there, or I'd put a ladder up against it so they had something to stand on. And yeah, I just remember, like I said, I watched some of those videos that I put up, and I'm like, not only how did I film it, but how did I edit it, VHS to VHS, like compared to what you do now on the computer. I'm like, how long did I spend making this fucking video? I mean, I think I spent a long time now. That must have been just grueling. Because you tape a little, then you stop, then you tape, then you stop, then you tape, then you stop. Like, to rewind and try to stop it exactly where you need to keep going, it's impossible. That's when you get cuts in it or blank spots in that. And so yeah, I must have been really diligent at planning it all out beforehand and knowing exactly what cuts I wanted and where they were. And Stop, then go, then 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 stop for go. I mean, I said I've watched my original one I put up that had the intro with the music where it was all those fast cuts, and I went to some like MTV cuts and all types of other cuts, and I'm like, how did I do that? how did how did I do that in like '87 with my '88 with my VHS system? Like, how did I how did I put together like a Bones Brigade video when they're working with professional equipment? I have no idea. Well, you got to see it now. You saw that MTV spoof where I show my editing system and how I did it back then. And like I said, I'm like, I was ahead of my time, man. Compared to what these other people did. Yeah, I was just like, wow, crazy. And I'm putting on one tomorrow. I'm actually putting up one of my full videos. It's called Couch Potato. I only have two, I think, that are full videos. I've used clips from some of them in the videos I've uploaded, but this is actually a full one called Couch Potato. I actually do some stop animation in the beginning and the ending. And yeah, this is actually, I think it's like 15, 20 minutes long, something. But it's actually kind of set up like the Bones Brigade. Now it's a full video, and I called it Couch Potato. So I'm going to upload that one tomorrow. I've used a clip of it, the Thrashathon video, that I kind of re-edited in the computer for the one I uploaded. This is the one with the original VHS editing. Plus, and there's a really good shot of me you're going to like if you find it. It's a Halloween. I'm a woman. It's a segment in there. It's really funny. But, yeah, I'm uploading it. I had to change all the music because the music's all copyrighted. So I had to change out the music so I can make money out of it. Yeah. I mean, it's the way I wanted to make skate videos back then. So, yeah, it has an intro and then, it's called Couch Potato. There's stuff that kind of lead to Couch Potato with like, and it's all in black and white and it's filmed when I, I edit it normally, then I refilmed it while playing it on our TV and filmed it in black and white, so that's why it looks like you're looking at a TV in the video. It's like the Thrashdown one. It's in black and white, and you see that there's like edges like a TV, because I was actually filming it, push play, and record on my camera, and I had all set up so it just recorded the screen. That's why there's a little mores in it and stuff. But yeah, I edited it normal, in color and everything else. Got all complete, then took that tape to my parents' house, set up the camera, aimed it at the TV, push play, and then record on the camera, and I filmed it all again through the camera in black and white while filming the TV. Because they couldn't, because it was Couch Potato. It was supposed to be like you were looking at, it's supposed to be like you're looking at a TV, and then during it, there's like hitting a remote and going through different channels, and that's where That's where it goes to each segment. Because you're there flipping through channels, and then all of a sudden it's this part of the video. And that ends, and then you flip through the channels, and then there's another segment. And then you flip through the channels again, and then there's another segment. So, yeah, that was my whole... that was my whole creative process of making the film was, and that's why it's called couch potato. Like you're just sitting there cruising through the channels and you find something to watch. And that's over, and then you cruise through the channel and find something else to watch. So, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to come across to people. I thought it was a great idea back then. I remember a lot of times I had gatherings at my house and I had people over. We'd sit and I'd play my skate videos and videos I created, and they'd watch that one. And they were like, dude, that's so cool. I love your video angles. I love how you tape this. So I'm throwing that one up tomorrow. Yeah, well, you didn't have computers back then. I mean, I couldn't, I don't know, I didn't, even my swiping boards and the special effects I didn't have black and white. So that was the way I came up with making it look older and doing it in black and white was, for some reason, my dad had a really expensive VCR that he bought in like 84, 83 or whatever. And, oh, actually, no, wasn't the VCR, it was the TV. I could I could adjust the color on the TV, so I could turn the TV to black and white. So that was my whole process. I'm like, I don't know, for some reason I wanted black and white. And the ending is footage at my ramp I had lights set up so we could skate at night. And I wanted to do a video of skating at night with the lights and the shadows and stuff. So after that thrash slam footage, when it actually gets to my ramp footage, it's all done at night and black and white. So I don't know. I'm proud of it. I might put it up. Well, after you see the one that's done with the redone music, I'll probably put it up on my members only with the original music. The original 80s music now, because I can put it up on there and just not monetize it. I mean, that'll give me copyright issues in that, but it's not a strike or anything, so I could leave it up on there with the original footage and the original music. Because it has, most of them are done, the way I think and the way I do it's music and then image. And it has like the Vandals on it, Chardon Square. Who else is on there? It's just, no, I didn't have, no, I didn't have to, no. No, the VCR was just hooked up to the TV. I just had to, I just had to figure out a way to get to black and white. It's cool. I don't know. I put the image up of the Thrashathon because it's cool footage of Jason Jesse and all that. But I'm sure people are looking at it going, why does it look like we're looking at a TV? But if you watch the original one, where it's called Couch Potato, then you'll be thinking, oh, I get it. It's Couch Potato, so it's like we're on a couch looking at a TV. So, give me a sec, Noah. I gotta go pee pee. I'll be right back. I'll be quick, I swear. Thank you for Peanut wanted to talk to me here.
You've been here a long time.
I'm back. I'm back. I made it. Yeah, I don't know. That's just kind of been my thing with the whole. I don't know. With the whole fishing thing. I'm like, yeah. Well, that's what. Yeah. No, that's what I said. The whole fishing thing. It's like. I don't know. Everybody's so into it. It's got to be perfect. You got to have that $5,000 camera. You got to have that newest GoPro. You got to have this and that. And I'm just like, it's got to look good with the fishing. It's like, it's got to look the best it could be. And I'm like, not really. It's like, it's storyline. I don't know. I mean, there's that history of, Bill Dance, all that, where it's, but I don't know. Uh, People always gave me shit because of my cameras I use for my fishing shows. You need to go 4K, man. You need to up the quality. I know. They're all like, you got to go 4K, man. You got to get a better camera. You got to do it this way. You got to do it that way. I'm like, it's just, it's it's just fishing. it's, I'd rather have it look rough and more home done than perfect. And those cameras don't capture like 16 millimeter film or things like that. I mean, there's a warmness to film, and there was a warmness to tape. And now that everything's digital and goes to digital, there's a coldness to it. I mean, warmth is when it's not overly vibrant, and it kind of has a little grain. And now everything is just like, I don't know, it's just super clear and super colorful and almost better than perfect. When that's not the way film is. Yeah, it's not even that. It's not even staged. It's just, and I see it. I see it when like Googans or Lunkers or other people. I can tell when they put a filter over what they're presenting to us that makes it look more like film and have a warmer aspect to it than the cold digital footage. And I've noticed a lot of them are now starting to do that to it, to actually cut back on the vibrance and the clearness of the footage. Because, I don't know, that's the way film is. Film doesn't, it has a grain to it. It has a warmth to it. It's not that incredibly freaking clear. There's a story about it with Jurassic Park. Remember when Jurassic Park came out? Yeah, it's like when Jurassic Park came out, the technology they had with adding the dinosaurs in with the film, they actually had to back off the quality of the dinosaurs in that because they didn't match the quality of the film. They were too clear and too perfect compared to what was captured on 60 millimeter film. So they had to back off and, in a way, sort of blur slightly in that, but the dinosaurs. So during the interaction on film with humans, where they placed them, that it looked more real. I remember that it was in a documentary with Steven Spielberg when they were talking about it that they had to back off. We got the animation too good that it looked clearer and more distinct than the actors that were filmed on the 16 millimeter film. So we couldn't get 60 millimeter film to look that clear. So we got to back off the digital creations to make them match in. Kind of like I did with that thumbnail with Jeff. I couldn't make me look clear, so I had to make him look less clear. Wait. Yeah. I had to match this together, but I couldn't get the grain off me and make me clearer without the grain. But I had grain him, so it kind of evened out the photo. Yeah, I don't know. When I get back to actually like creating some fishing videos again, they ain't pretty. I don't know. They're going to be put together from my perspective. And how I feel I need to put them together as me, not how I think I need them to be put together to be a YouTuber. Because I don't know. The one I have filmed that I haven't put together, the last one I filmed with Tito at the pier. Yeah. The intro and the way I'm talking, all that, and I'm just like, it's pretty funny. Even he was laughing when I finally shut off the camera. No, mumbo jumbo. Yeah, but most fishermen don't want to do that because they want to make it look all fancy and have music under it and all that other stuff. But yeah, I did the intro and I turned it off, and Tito just started laughing. And I'm like, what? He's like, he just the way you just said that, and I'm like, I know. This is probably the first time I've been real in one of my intros. I will have it all. I'll get to it someday. It was just really funny. He's like, it totally threw him off. It was like completely completely non how you do it if you're a YouTuber. Well, at least in fishing videos. I don't know. I just think I think fishing videos, at least bass fishing videos, just got too. I don't know. They got too mimicry. It's like everybody. You had to do it this way. You had to do it that way. You had to do it that way. If you want to get views and you wanted to get subscribers, now you had to film it like this. You had to be like this. And I don't know. I spent years doing it slightly different than them, and it didn't get me anywhere. I mean, it kind of did, but when everybody keeps sending comments, you need to do this more, you need to do that more, you need to do that. Why? So I look more like them, just because they have 1 million subscribers or 500,000 subscribers. Well, I can't do stuff different. I have to do it exactly like them. But put my like little twist on it, because it's me talking, not them. Yeah, but I said it just got, I mean, I don't know. And then with your thumbnails and your titles, and I couldn't just put up what I thought would be a good title. I had to make up something that made it more cool and catchy. And then I had to like make up a thumbnail that made it look, yeah, even more extreme and more. And I'm just like, so that's what I hated the most, was coming up with titles and making a thumbnail. I'm like, I just couldn't. I don't know. It just got so much that it had to look like everybody else's just to get views. And they watch me and be like, oh, he's fishing. What? He's not fishing gookin baits. He's not fishing swim baits. He's not fishing a frog. Fuck this old man. He doesn't even know what he's doing. How long has he been fishing anyway? Yeah. I said, I don't know. I mean, a lot of the people over the years, like you, Noah, and Cora, and everybody else, they got me and liked me because of who I was for what I did. They always said that to me. They're like, why don't you have more subscribers? Yeah, they're like, why do you have more subscribers? Your thumbnails are great. Your titles are great. Your videos are... I'm like, I don't know. I just don't fit in. I'm just slightly off from everybody else. And it just makes it slightly not work. That's like, what? Fletcher the Fisherman. Fletcher the Fisherman, that's now taken off. He's hooked up with, what, Kick Their Bass TV and that. But every thumbnail is that it's the same... it's the same pole, cut out of the pole, and it bending over, and then he just manipulates a fish jumping in the background and all the different, I mean, because they preach on YouTube, consistency. Your thumbnails have to be consistent. They have to look the same. They have to look the same. So people know it's you every time. They have to be the same. And I started looking at it. At first I thought they were different, and then I started looking at it, and I'm like, I started looking at all of his thumbnails, and I'm like, he has that one shot of his pole. and he just overlays that on every thumbnail and puts it either here or there, and then he has a fish that's not a fish jumping, but a inlaid fish jumping in a certain spot, and I'm like, oh my god, that is so cheesy. That is so repetitive and stupid. Yet suddenly he's up to like almost 100,000 subscribers now. He's like blew up, and I'm just like, this is really what they want. And if you watch those, how to get 1,000 subs in a month, they tell you the same thing. And I'll watch them, and they'll check people's YouTube channel and look at and scroll down through their subs, through their thumbnails. Like, see, look, every single thumbnail is set up exactly the same way. I mean, it's a different picture in the background, but the way they have their lettering, have their words, it's all the same. Easily impressed. I don't know. I don't get it. I told Nick about him. I told Nick about him one time on my live, and Nick looked up his site, went to his channel, and started scrolling down. And he goes, "Oh my god, what's up with those cheesy ass thumbnails?" I'm like, I know, but he's blowing up. He's went from like 10,000 subscribers to like 70,000 now. He's like, oh my god, with those thumbnails? I'm like, yeah, I mean, I don't know, that's what I said. YouTube to me, I've never understood it. I've been on it 15 years. 15 years now. Yeah, October 6th. I passed my 15th year. October 6th, 2006. So isn't that 15 years now? 16 was 10. Yeah. But still, I've never understood it. I'm like, I don't, you have to be exactly like the rest of them. I don't know. And it's their age group. You know, mine's 25 to 55. Theirs is like, who knows, like 12-year-olds to 30-year-olds, majority. But then I see them getting like, I don't know. It's really weird to me. I see people commenting to them, and I'll go check their channel, and it's like some guy that's 40. And he's like, you guys are the best. I love. And I'm like, okay. It's not really age, it's just people that are new to bass fishing. You could be 40 or 50 and just start getting into bass fishing 2 years ago. And you love those guys because they're so cool. Makes you want to be young again in bass fishing. I was like, no. These guys are freaking cheesy and full of shit. Yeah, I mean, I research all. Hey, I can make it to 10. I research all the stuff in the background. I used to. I would watch all these up and comers, and they were fishing with Fletcherman, fishing with Fletcher. Who else are some of the new ones? Something Andrew fishing, all that. The ones that were like suddenly gaining a lot. Thanks, Corn. I'm just talking with Noah. Yeah, and he's got fisherman. All right, thanks for checking in. Give me another like. Thank you. Yeah, fisherman, new guy, another Asian. Somebody called him the new One Rod. I thought that was racist because they're both Asian. But anyway, yeah, he's like taking off now. And I was just like, that was kind of when I'm like, all right, I'm done. I mean, seriously. Yeah. And when Yak Pack, I knew him when he had less subscribers than me. And I just go back and forth. Now he's up to like 100,000 subscribers or more. I'm just like, this is what it takes. Yeah, this is what it takes to be a big channel on YouTube as a bass fisherman is lack of knowledge of the sport and yeah, no, just that. Just lack of knowledge. I mean, during his uprise, he caught a smallmouth. Had to ask somebody there if it was a smallmouth because he didn't even know what the species looked like. I'm like, wait, you've been doing a bass fishing channel for like 2-3 years now, and you don't even know what a smallmouth bass looks like? I mean, I'm confused. Why have you suddenly gone past me and now you're so big and you didn't even know what a smallmouth bass looked like? You had to ask somebody to confirm. It's just all gimmicks and stupid freaking shit. I can't. Yeah, I know. Hell, I had one. There's one video where I left a comment with One Rod. This was a while ago when he first got going. And the kid was catching him on a Ned rig. And the Ned rig had been around. And it was a popular bait for like a year or so. And he had to ask the kid, oh, what's that? What's that rig? And the kid goes, oh, it's a Ned rig. And One Rod's like, I've never heard of that. Well, I'm going to have to look that one up, guys. But yeah, that's a new Ned. And so I left a comment going, dude, how long have you been bass fishing? Because just because of your comments on baits, I'm thinking it's not that long. And he commented back to me, I've been fishing for bass for 12 years. I'm like, really? And and you're doing fishing videos and you're supposed to be up with everything that's going on and you don't know what a Ned rig is. I don't know. Just blew my mind. I didn't start making bass fishing videos until I knew, evidently, yeah, until I knew. I mean, I've been fishing for bass and pretty intensely for about, I mean, on and off for about 8 years before I made that first one in 1980, 89, first bass fishing channel. And yeah, I knew like everything about everything, every new bait, every new everything. And I just remember watching that and leaving that comment. He actually got back to me going, I've been fishing for 12 years. And I'm like, really? Because that rig's been out for like a year or two, and I'm just seeing you with your followers, and yeah, I know. I've never liked the guy. I've just, I can tell right away that his knowledge of fishing is not, it's not good. It's the way he talks about things, the way he says things. At first, I thought it was like a gimmick, like he was pretending to be dumb. But the more I watched it and all that, I'm like, no, he just actually For some reason, he's big. He's getting lots of subscribers. People love watching him, but he doesn't really know that much about fishing, or at least good fishing, or being able to compete in a tournament for bass. I was just like, phew. And now what? He's married, divorced, has a kid. Now he has a kid with some other woman. And I think it's that girl they put in his videos for a while. That kind of heavier set one. I don't know if he ever came out and said who the mother was, but I don't know. Do you remember that? I don't know if you guys watch him enough, but suddenly he showed up and there was some other girl that he kept fishing with. Kind of a heavier set white woman. And then suddenly there were videos fishing with her and his mom and dad were there with him. And all of a sudden he comes out with a video about the new baby. And I'm like, and she was talking all, and she was, some of the videos, she was talking all like kind of sexual to him. And he's like, oh, whoa, that's out of the blue. Well, let's leave that. And then he has, I'm like, the dude's social life is a fucking wreck. Why do you think his first wife divorced him and now he came and used the kid in videos and everything? It's like he was just using, like, oh, I have a kid. Kids are good in videos. Gotta start using the kid in the videos. He's just, I don't know. He's just a fucked up dude. That's all I gotta say. Plain and simple, he's just fucked up. Somehow it worked for him, and he's making lots of money, and he's well off on YouTube and that, but he's not a role model. Not at all. So yeah, that's kind of part of the reason why I just like, I don't know. There's still good stuff, like, you know, some of the pros that did it, feel like Scott Martin and Littner and those people that do it from the true educational side. But even them, they don't have as many subs and everything else. But that's why I just kind of, I'm at this point now going, I put up 1,600 videos of fishing. I only have 3,500 subscribers. Other than been real and only tried to help people the whole time and on here, that was my focus. I didn't do it to entertain. Hopefully I was entertaining. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like, I don't know. It's just, my inspiration for starting this was Roland Martin, Jimmy Houston, Bill Dance, Hank Parker, Shaw Grigsby. Like, it was entertaining because they were educational and catching fish, but it was nowhere like what it is today. I mean, who the fuck cares if you catch fish on baits some random person bought you at Walmart? Who cares if you can catch a bass on a fucking Barbie pole? That's just YouTube freaking bullshit. It's crazy, but it's totally and completely where fishing on YouTube is gone. At least to be big on YouTube. And that's why it's just bad. It's kind of why I kind of laughed. I'm like, now I like this. I'm going to go back to what I used to do before 90% of these people were born. A camera, raw ideas, doing it when there was no reason to do it. Yeah, I hated Flair. Once he got his farm and the stuff he started doing there, like farm vlogs and that, that's when he blew up, and that's when he was cool. But he was never a good fisherman. He never fit in as a fisherman and tried to be a good guy as a fisherman. He didn't know how to fish. He wasn't that good at it, but he found his way. And he's like what the most. He has the most subscribers of any of them. I mean, his videos suddenly start getting like 200,000 and 300,000, 400,000 views, compared to those guys getting 40 to 50, maybe 100,000 if they're lucky. He blew my way, but he went to being, I don't know, who he was. He stopped pretending to be a good ass fisherman and just got entertaining and did all kinds of other stuff that I guess was more where he came from, farming and having a farm and having animals, and I respect him for that. I hated him in the beginning. I watched videos and like he would always say, "Well, I'm not a professional fisherman. I'm just a YouTube fisherman. I don't really know everything." I'm like, exactly. Then why are you trying to teach us how to bass fish? Because you're admitting that you don't know anything. You're just hooked up with the Googans and you're getting views. So, and then evidently, yeah, finally got smart and left. Yeah, he went to what he had to do. And I respect Lunkers TV for that too, because now he did a documentary going to Normandy, and I don't appreciate a lot of his army military stuff, but he started doing those. Anyway, that was because they were popular, the storage unit type stuff and that. But I don't know. He's figuring it out. He's fucked up. He has post-traumatic syndrome, and he was on drugs, but he's getting better, I think, now, as far as what he's doing and how he's creating it. So, and then John B. He was good. I always loved him. He's always been sort of the yeah, a lot of them. But I don't know. John B.'s always been. He's a good fisherman. He's always been fishing oriented, and he's always done incredibly good fishing oriented videos. Like when we went to Africa and all the other stuff. He's stayed pretty consistent. He has really good editors. And then AP, like he started his ice fishing company, and he's more the business side of it. Doesn't do many videos anymore. But then they got the newbies coming in, like Lojo and Fishing with Norm, and they're a business now, so they're attaching to the people that are creating videos like they did in the beginning and have that sort of mentality. But luckily, some of them are outgrowing it and taking their channels to a different level and a different audience. But most of them that are now following behind them are just, I don't know, they're just stupid. It's just dumb. And everybody else that's trying to be like them and filming. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like where they've gone now, as far as the original crew of the Googans. But I just don't like the people they've attached to him that are following him, like Lojo and Norm and Fletcher. Not Fletcher's not with them. 'Cause he's with Kicked Bass, who was with them, and he left them. And fishing with Andrew or something. I mean, I think Fisherman, the new Fisherman, he's now Guggen. Yeah, I don't know. They just need somebody to replace them because they've gone past it. So they need a crew that's still doing all the goofy, stupid shit that the kids like. So it keeps going. So, I don't know. That's just my perspective of it. But all the people that are every other Tom, Dick, and Harry that has a camera and fishes and wants to have a fishing channel, it's just destroying the sport, spreading the magic lure concept. You have to have this to catch fish. No old school, no just learn how to catch them on a plastic worm thing. It's all got to be some goofy ass new thing that's going to sell. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to have to get out of here a little bit because my battery's down to 7%, 6%. Okay. No, see, that's the thing about me with everything I'm putting up. With the skateboarding videos, not that to get them to be a point of being monetized or make any money off them was like 1 in a million. There was no Instagram, there was no YouTube. The only people that got to see my videos were people that came over to my house, or I had a party and we hung out and drank, and I said, hey, check out some of the videos I make. Or I had to hand them to people in person and say, here, check out my videos. Here, check out my videos. Here, check out my videos. There was no, compared to YouTube and everything that's going on, it was never monetary. It was just from the thrill of and the pure desire to create it. Yeah, I mean, once I saw the Bones Brigade and saw skaters were making videos, I went, wow, that's really cool. And then I got a camera and I said, I want to do that. This isn't just production studios, everything else. Regular people could make videos. And that's where it all came from me. So, all right, I'm down to 5%. I'm gonna have to go. Thank you, Noah, for hanging out with me. It's just like the me and Noah connection right here. You've been a subscriber. You're a member, and yeah, thank you. Corn did stop in, but he's having issues. But yeah, I have that video coming up tomorrow of my actual full length skateboarding video with my sort of take on it. And other than that, I'll see you next Monday live. And all right, I'm out. I gotta put this thing on the charger.